Huawei today officially announced that the Honor 5C will come to Europe and other markets. So starting today, here it is, and most of you, I guess at least, will ask, okay, that's the Honor 5C, we have an Honor 5X, where is the difference? And the first of them is obvious. You have the big brother and the small brother, the 5X with 5.5 and the 5C with 5.2 inches. So this one is a little bit cheaper, coming to the price at the end of this video. And the second difference you should know on the back side, because here in Europe we do not have a fingerprint sensor on the 5C. Don't ask me why. As far as I know, in some Asian markets you have that fingerprint sensor. So unfortunately, but something Honor isn't telling you is the materials, or you have to dig a little bit deeper, because here Honor is speaking of a aluminum unibody. I wouldn't, because these stripes down and up here at the end are plastic for the antenna signals, but the rest is indeed aluminum going around the edges, so very classy from the feeling on the haptics and the optics, and that's something totally different here on the 5C. Even if it's cheaper. So the complete backside here, that's plastic. Even if it's looking like metal, that metal brush look, nevertheless, the only aluminum you find here on the 5C is the corner, the edge ones around here. That's totally okay, because it's feeling great because of these curved edges. On the other hand, if I'm winding it, or let me go to a white background here, you have a little movement in winding here. But the good message is there are no black dots, so no points where the glass is pressing down onto the panel that might damage, at least during time, might damage some pixels. So stability is absolutely okay and it's feeling great. Both do have dual SIM, two times nano SIM. It seems to be the same camera, 13 megapixels, videos in full HD. On the front, a little difference, because you now have 8 megapixels for selfies instead of 5, videos still in 720p. And like I told you, 5.5 inch, 5.2 inch with the same resolution of full HD. So 1080 by 1920 pixels, making the density a little bit higher here on the 5C. That's 424 instead of 404 ppi. But on the other hand, have a look at these really tiny text here. Compare these. This is nothing the eye would see, at least in my opinion. I don't see anything here. So that's no reason to decide, in my opinion. On the other hand, smaller display means a smaller body, of course, 2 millimeters in width. It sounds less, but on the other hand, if you grab it, every millimeter counts in width. So it's a little bit easier here for the thumb to reach the opposite corner of the touchscreen. It's a little bit easier. More compact, I wouldn't say, because it's 156, 158 grams. These 2 grams you do not really feel, and the length is, well, don't talk about it, 147 instead of 151, so don't mind about that. So the other thing is, you should know, both have a fixed-in battery, both with 3000 milliamps. So let's see how this one is doing in the battery runtime test, because you have the smaller display here. But on the other hand, it's a different processor, a newer one, a more powerful one, the Kirin 650. But Honor is telling it's using 40% less power. So let's wait for the final test. Like always, as text on my website, mobiwatch.net. Just click on it, but give me some days for the test of the 5C, please. So Kirin 650 means you have 8 cores again. This was the Snapdragon 615, 8 cores too, but here we have now 2.0 and 1.7 gigahertz instead of 1.5 and 1.2. Again, 2 gigabyte of working memory, of RAM. And internal memory is both 16 gigabyte, both expandable with a micro SD card. Here on the side you have that slot, up to 128 gigabyte officially. And this one is coming now with, as you can see here, with Emotion UI for 1, so the newest version of that user interface from Huawei. And as you see here, it's Android 6.0, no 6.01, but that's the most important, at least in my opinion, most important message. 6.0 is pre-installed. And both have 4G up to 150 megabit per second. Both have dual HSPA. And unfortunately, on both, you do not have Wi-Fi N in the 5 gigahertz band, and thus no Wi-Fi AC. So at least in this price range, I would have had expected that. But on the other hand, you have at least NFC now. The 5X does not support. So at least it depends on your market if you can use it. Here in Germany, Europe, we do not have kind of almost nothing NFC in practical everyday life. You might use it, but nevertheless, now you know the facts. So available right now, starting today, officially 200 euro here in Germany, Europe, including text. Of course, may vary depending on the country. So you have 3 colors. This one is called silver. You have a gold one and a gray one. And now here it comes compared to the price to the 5X. Here in Germany, 200, that's 230 only. And you have the Honor 5X for some months in the market now. So sometimes there are activities here for the moment exactly. I guess it's 180 or 170 bucks. So it's even cheaper than the new 5C. So I'm not convinced about that. I would have expected a price of, let's say, 150 or something to make that fingerprint sensor, and you have the smaller display. So I do not understand Honor or Huawei at this point, but that's the facts at the moment. So let's wait for the test. Maybe there's offering some great battery runtime or processor power performance. I'm not quite sure, but let's wait for the final test. That are the first impressions here from the launch of the Honor 5C compared to the 5X. Thanks for watching, take care and bye.